approach.
I love the concept of just like getting people's feet on the ground.
Root.
I mean, that's the point.
It's not just vertical.
We're not just weight training. We're trying to get people to move better, right?
So with this, you can get onto this, and you can, you've got that safety, and you're not going to risk an injury or using it incorrectly.
The more you're using each of these stations and getting comfortable on your feet, and grounding and rooting, like you want to build strength with that, and this will build you up for all these other ones too. You know what I mean? It amplifies everything. So it's an awesome system. It's very complete in that regard.
So this is the range. You'll see that we've kind of set it up in a way here that lends itself very much to group training space. This is kind of a squash court size area. Yeah. You could have maybe sort of 10 to 15 to 20 people working out in this space, instructor led. Right. It's built around our Octagon frame, which is kind of like the backbone of the space, and it carves out the area. It creates a divide between the other areas of the space, and also in between each of the stations you'll notice that you've got storage for all of your functional accessories that you typically would want to use with this. So it's very space efficient, and for a trainer, if I was a trainer in the middle of the room, I can very quickly grab these products, set them up in the space, and you can move straight from a kettlebell swing or a bag spin and then straight on one of these stations immediately afterwards. So it's a very efficient use of the space. And then to look at the kind of the benefits of the for the user, one of the things that we really wanted to we really wanted to make a real kind of selling point of this, and it's something that we've been talking about a lot today, is kind of standing on your own 2 feet, having a strong base, being able to balance, being able to move, thinking about your stance. For me, all too many times I'll see people that have been sitting down at a desk all day, sitting down in their car. They got 1 hour a day where they can go to work out and actually move. And what's the first thing they do? They go and sit their ass down on a chest press or a leg extension or something like that.
A recumbent bike.
which just seems crazy to me. So that was something that we wanted to incorporate, and you'll notice that with each one of the stations that they're what we call ground-based. So you're actually standing on your feet, on your own 2 feet. You're having to stabilise. You're having to balance. Each of the stations as well can be used both unilaterally or bilaterally. And we've got a couple of different resistance forms with them. So they're plate load, so you can, as we're all used to, you can very quickly add and remove plates onto the pins and just lock them in place with collars. Or we've also got this integrated elastic resistance feature as well, and the two kind of complement each other. They can be used independently or they can be used together, and elastic resistance at the moment is something that's very popular. For me, actually, I find myself using the bands much more than the plates. They're silent. You get a different kind of progressive overload kind of feel, and they're very, very quick and easy to kind of attach and to set up. This is what we call the load drive. So this as a movement is essentially, the way that I kind of explain it is almost a dip and a drive. So we're kind of dip and extend, we can
American football.
Absolutely, or you kind of you line out
American
in rugby
football.
as well.
If I hit you in American football, I have to uproot you.
Absolutely,
I can't drive you horizontal. I have to come in and grab your shoulder blades.
The movements again is this, and switching up your stance, and I like to actually really get quite aggressive with it, and then
Yep. Oh, I do this. Yeah, this is it, man. We're not the
Unilateral-
fighters. That's for us.
Give it a go.
You gonna rip it?
Here you go, Dave.
All right,
I'll see you first, bud. Let's see what you got.
So something like this device here, I would come in and I would probably do unilateral. And what I'm going to want to do is I'm going to want to funnel into that hip. Now I have the power of my body. I'm going to come in and I'm going to whack like that. So I'm going to catch it internal and I'm going to drive it and then far. Right? So it's
So something I do with jammers, Dave, is like I mess around with windmills a lot with this. So
Yeah.
I absolutely love that. But a lot of people, they're thinking that drive through and we're doing like ground-based stuff, but I like to take these up and like throw the hip out and get it similar if you've done like windmills with a kettlebell or something. But we can use this leverage point, and with this elastic, this makes you feel super integrated with it. But just being able to get really good positions here to work like the side body.
It's very safe.
Well, that's a really great point that you mentioned there, David, because one of the issues, again, if you think about more and more people moving into the strength space, typically the tool that they'll turn to will be an Olympic bar. Yeah. Just because it's kind of a one size fits all. It's like you want to squat, you want to press, you want to lift, you do it with an Olympic bar. Now the problem with Olympic bars are, first of all, they're 8 feet long.
Yeah, right.
You know, so if you're standing anywhere near that, you don't want to be anywhere near, you know, somebody that's using that type of product. So with this, you can get onto this, and you can, you know, you've got that safety, and you know, you're not going to risk an injury or using it incorrectly. You know,
so something really special on this that I do with these, like when I do these side press variations here, is actually being able to get like a scissoring effect to it. So because I can pull an ISO on this side,
right?
So he can,
like, you don't get to see that when I'm using it, but it's such a huge.
The reciprocity of sending that through. The pull makes the push.
So I'm actively trying to rip that through.
Intent is everything.
Things like that.
Wow,
that's badass right there. Boom.
Yeah, I love windmills on that. I don't know if you've gotten to fiddle. I'm a huge fan of the elastic, and I'm like a big fan that you guys went with like a cover cord elastic like this. Like, I just is such like a safe feature, that kind of stuff.
These are the Stroops bands, and you know, they kind of they know, you know, they know that space really well, and it's permanently integrated. So we've only got one band hooked on here, but you can have up to 3. And they're permanently locked in position. So people can't just run off with them.
Super friendly to feel integrated all the time, but it's also quieter too.
Absolutely.
That quiet's huge.
Yeah.
Because jammers can get noisy.
Yeah, and look, you know, you take these off. And it's...
that's so nice.
But also what I like as well is when you take it out, but then...
like that. I didn't even give it that.
It's like the car door slam.
Yeah, because that's like the people ditch it. Yeah, that's nice.
But that's like a quality sound.
That's a quality sound. That kind of stuff matters, man.
Did you hear what Ritchie did? You're like, I love that it's so quiet. And Ritchie's like, yes, it's amazing.
That's noise.
So that is actually, so these bumpers, if you really want to geek out on it, but these stops are actually, they're molded here in the UK, and they're polyurethane. So polyurethane. So these are actually polyurethane. They got nice logos and stuff. The way that this bumper is designed is, you'll notice that it's actually tapered towards the bottom. Yes. So the reason this is a really sort of, as I say, a detail that not everybody will pick up on. But the reason for that taper is because what it does is, when it drops, is it eliminates the
thud of the whole thing.
The slap.
Yeah. Wow,
it's got a taper. That's the level of detail that we go to. So it's urethane, and urethane will last forever, but it's also, as I say, tapered to give that tone.
That's a patentable feature.
And to remove that.
That is a patentable feature. Let me play with it a little bit.
Get in there, man.
Come on, we're wasting time. I want to play with this thing.
So no, I wasn't wasting time.
No, I will.
So the handles are stainless steel, marine grade stainless steel. The weight pins and the horns are all marine grade stainless steel. It's all manufactured here in the UK, you know, everything about it has been manufactured to the highest quality.
Even something where.
Yeah, just using it for like the overhead squats and stuff. I do love that. That's what I like. I think I'm gonna like that one. I know that's a row station, Yeah, but I was showing some lunge variations with that one too. My brain too wants to put elastic to elastic. God. Connect them together. Yeah.
But we can move on to this. This next station is what we call the row. I guess, you know, fairly self-explanatory, but it's a standing row. Again, you know, you can kind of perform the movements unilaterally or bilaterally. I actually like to do this almost like a gorilla row kind of style, where you know, I'm in that sort of plank position, if you like. You know, I'm stabilised, my whole body's engaged here, but I can actually then turn and really pull into that lat. You know, it's a nice movement. I can also just perform them standing. I've got
tons of
low position as well, and overhand, and you know, can do some
awesome.
funky stuff with that as
It's
well.
awesome.
Yeah, get in there.
It's really awesome.
Yeah.
Same rules apply. You know, we can load the plates, we can load the bands onto there.
Strong, Richie. Jeez, boy.
You know, but playing around with foot position is you know, is great.
Yeah, I mean,
Works
I
really
love
well.
I love the concept of just like getting people's feet on the ground.
Root.
I mean, that's the point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then lever arms, beautiful, because we can get people in angles that carry over to movement.
Right. It's
walking.
it's not just
So
vertical.
We're not just weight training. We're trying to get people to move better, right? I know this is off of a row, but I really like this machine for lunges. Yeah, because you can get a low leverage, so you can lunge here with the load. A little better than even on a jammer because the weight sticks with
down
you.
Low. Yeah.
I think that's huge.
Nice.
Yeah, so I do really like that about it.
Nice.
Or
Nice.
Yep. Yeah, you can squat.
Yeah, and then you can arc it
like
up.
front
too.
squats and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, that works way
That's
better.
cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of that for that, by the way. That might be squat row.
You just open my mind.
Yeah, I was like,
there
you might
to
have to
some-
call that squat row. Yeah, you put a pad,
Right.
like a safety squat.
Okay. Right.
If you even have like a flap on there, you can. Because that's like a safety squat right there. Do you
over-
see that?
I'm over
Right.
the top.
Don't tell us we're allowed to play, Richie. We're gonna play, man.
No, play away.
Yeah.
Play away. We got all night.
Yeah. On a hip drive.
Well, it's sort of I mean,
That pad on there. For real, though.
can
You see what
be-
I'm saying?
that can
That
be
pad
done.
was on there. There's good application for legs on that.
Right, and even kind of
right.
kickbacks. Yeah.
No?
Yeah.
like there.
Kick back.
Keep that angle.
Kick back with brothers.
Keep the angle.
Get in there. Yeah. You gonna kick it back? Yeah, I was like, yeah. He's
There
like,
you
I got.
go.
That's what I was telling you. He's got kick
There
back
you
too.
go.
The trajectory. The trajectory.
Oh,
should be
that's
all
a
right.
nice little trajectory.
Yeah, man.
Oh, smack it.
We gave him some ideas. All right. Boom. We did our part.
Woo.
God,
Yeah.
I'm so impressed with the bumpers. I'm sorry.
I'm so
I'm more
impressed.
impressed than anything. I'm sorry. Where can we get arranged at our place?
I love this.
Yeah, it's that attention to detail that sometimes gets missed. But
Show me something else. I want to see more.
So we've looked at the drive, we've looked at the row. Yeah, so then, moving on, the next station which I wanted to show you was this one which we call lift. And you'll notice with each one of these stations, we refer to them as kind of fundamental movement patterns. You know, it's really, you know, in its rawest form, this is a lift. You know, we've got a drive, we've got a push, we've got a pull, we've got a lift, and absolutely, you know, when people start playing around with these things, there's a whole host of different things that you can do.
Yeah.
But in its very rawest form, you know, this was designed to be a lift.
I liked it. I was playing with this earlier.
The position, we played around a little bit with the kind of the takeoff position and the hands, both the depth of the handle and also the width of the handle to get something that was just right. And we've ended up basing this on a hex bar deadlift.
Okay.
So you'll notice with that you've got the high handle and the low handle. So the width and the depth in relation to the floor is the same as you would get on a hex bar. So yeah, you know, I guess the simplest movement that you can perform is just a standing lift. You've got a top handle and a low handle. You can obviously then again do your suitcase lifts, which works really well as well. And then we've added this support bar at the back because again, an area that we get a huge amount of demand for is, you know, glutes, posterior chain, you know, single leg work, split squats, all that kind of stuff.
Absolutely.
Brilliant. Beautiful.
Yeah, smart.
Beautiful.
You know, that really kind
Yeah,
of hits that posterior
that's
chain.
like that epic +1 right there.
Yeah,
like
abs-
having that built into it is huge.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
So we can use the elastic resistance or the plates. We've not even got any elastic resistance on here at the moment, but it works just the same. And David's about to take off there, I think.
I know, yeah, don't let go. Yeah.
External.
We do a lot of lever deadlifting. I do a ton. Yeah. So I always am itching for a machine like this.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow, that's nice because I have that forward intent.
Yeah.
I'm like driving forward.
Oh, nice. So you've actually alternated the grip.
That's
there,
the
yeah.
coil.
Yeah.
Right.
So this would be a big thing, even with trap bar deadlifts anymore.
Okay.
I fiddle because this is going to emphasize me being here. There's no like, it'll keep me out of that back leg a little more if I turn this thumb around. This is dumping all that weight
It
there.
dives in long
Plays
side.
with all that
sense.
stuff I taught you today, right? So
Right.
I'm able to come in here.
Is
and
there any
make it-
value
even-
in alternating the top and the bottom handle?
Yeah,
or-
I mean, I could
yeah.
even play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if I'd hit the fiddle
just
with
the
that a little
length
bit. I
there.
think I like the same
And
position.
so it creates an automatic coil
Yeah.
because that's a longer side.
And then this, making it, like I can even like suitcase that way, even with the split or
Look at
there.
that.
But if that gives that added security, so I'm still working
nice.
with both, like that actually is a really nice feature.
Yeah, that is. You can spot
That-
yourself.
Yeah,
Right.
because
You can spot
I mean, at
yourself.
least with my arm, I guess that would just depend on where you grab, but that's a very nice feature.
So we wanted to extend the handles. You'll notice that they are
They're long.
Yeah, that
quite
one-
long,
yeah, I like
but
that.
to give yourself that room to adjust. If you
Yeah,
wanted to,
that
you know, and work
yeah,
along the length of
that's
the
a
handle.
huge deal actually, because having that accommodates a lot of people. Yeah, I like that a lot. That's nice.
Beautiful.
That's cool. I like that. I love that bar in the back.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah. I know it's like that simple stuff, but that simple stuff is
no,
like
it
that
transforms
makes
it.
the workout good,
Yeah.
and convenient, and I love even just how convenient the band resistance is too, because you can do like explosive jumps.
Yeah, the
which is
band.
real nice, yeah.
This is gonna be nice with that just elastics.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
like a Russian leap or the the machine with all the elastics. This is really cool. Let me see here. Forward and 10.
I do a lot of like I'll put BOSU with lever arms like this because it's such a nice safe environment comparative to like trying to trap bar
Chris.
deadlift on a BOSU, or we use the sole steps of the deck, things like that.
Wow. I love this thing. Oh yeah, the combo with the kettlebell.
Yeah, that's convenient.
Yeah.
I'm digging that. That's
Yeah.
nice. I'm digging that.
Cool, man. Cool.
Yeah, we'll move on.
Cool.
Yeah, it's the same deadlift over and over.
And then for this one, we wanted to really kind of play up to that sort of, again, standing position, but being strong from that standing position, and create kind of an overhead press, an overhead push. Very similar to probably what you would see in, maybe in strongman training with the kind of the Viking press type movement. Essentially a standing overhead press.
Yes.
Again, same rules apply. Same resistance. We've got the band resistance and the plates, and we can get into there and we can perform standing presses.
Oh, dude.
Alternating.
Go, do it again and go head over foot. Head over foot.
Yeah.
And now, yeah. And you could do the other side as well.
No, we like this.
Okay,
I like
yeah,
the
there's
front.
the coil side. Yeah.
No, that front side and the
that's
long
true.
side. I'm actually really happy you did
Yeah,
that.
yeah. You see that? Now, ready, Richie? Oh, and that's just elastic bands. So, Richie, you just put on a lot of elastic bands here, right? Because that side, it's not going all the way up anyway.
Right.
So
right.
if I can anchor and I have to anchor that, boom, it gives me the push.
It might. There's a fair bit of weight on there, but yeah.
Yeah. Please.
I forgot who I was talking
That's
to.
fine.
It's an unfair bit of weight.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah, that's good, man.
How do you find the positioning?
Yeah, it's real good. Yeah. I love that security of it being a shoulder press.
And again, we wanted to extend the handles just to give yourself, if you wanted to go a little wider, a little narrower, you've got the room
for sure.
to kind of move across that.
In that way.
And so you go, supinated as well.
Oh, that's good. Wow. Yeah, that's fantastic. Yeah, we can get that off for you, Dave.
Thank you.
Okay. I like that. I dig that.
He's ready.
I kind of actually like that you have that like draw in. It's got that finite.
With the bumper system,
That's what I was saying. You can pull it in. That's what I was saying. That pull in is.
You're not going to break those things.
Yeah.
Oh, this is so much fun.
Yeah, cool, man.
It's adjustable on the rack. It looks like this.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Awesome, man. Awesome, man. Awesome.
That's fun.
Awesome. So then the final station, everything that we've looked at, on the face of it is very kind of, upper body heavy, pushing, pulling. We wanted to kind of have a targeted sort of lower body station, and coming back to the kind of story around, why this was created and who this was created for, particularly people maybe that are new to strength training, or people that, maybe they're not comfortable working out with maybe they don't want to do Olympic bar squats, for example, but they wanted something that could really smash the lower body, with an intense movement. For us, we find now that the belt squat is something that probably has, is more of an efficient lower body movement than a barbell squat. Essentially with this thing, you can kind of squat till you drop. It completely removes the risk factor of if you're working with an Olympic bar. You're not loading through the spine as you would be with a bar. The weight is around the waist, and it's a very targeted, intense movement. So yeah, this is the belt squat. With this, you just have to hook yourself in to the belt. It's fairly quick and easy to get started.
And then that turns.
So you get this to a position where you're comfortable. You've got a couple of different handle heights, or for me, I tend to just kind of not hold on to it at all. You just remove the handle there, and then, like I say, you can hold onto these, and you've got a nice depth there. You can get really deep with that movement, and then you can move into all your single leg movement patterns and stuff as well, and then you just flip the handle in.
Oh, it's a Spuds.
It's a Spud, yeah.
They got a Spuds.
This is their comfort belt, yeah.
Yeah, they got the Spuds.
It's not on this one, but it will be on the final version. So if you stand yourself up.
So you have options.
We got a couple of different hold positions. So if you stand yourself up and kind of take the strain. So so you're hooked in now and you're ready to go.
Oh, dude.
Now, one of the things for me that I really want to explore with this is, around your foot position. I noticed that David has just naturally gone into that kind of, up on the toes. But for me, I'd really like to play around with a platform, and maybe look at different ways that.
Do you have bands on this too?
We don't on this one, no.
Okay.
We don't on this one, but.
All right, thank you.
But yeah, maybe looking at ways that we could, offer a different platform, whether it's an angled tapered platform or, different heights or something like that. I think that all of that could be achievable and give it a new dimension, Absolutely. Particularly, I would imagine like the steps that you guys have got would work really well with it.
Yeah, we'll put steps on here.
Yeah,
that's
exactly what we do with them most of the time.
Yeah, exactly. That thing is awesome. Thing's pretty awesome. It's pretty. Yeah, we're going to talk about something that I think may be an accoutrement that really makes this even better. Right?
Yeah.
Smooth and fluid action.
Yes.
Oh yeah. I mean, belt squats are so awesome because they're so safe. You can do a ton of linear progression. You don't have to have all the skill side of the barbell, and so many people miss out on opportunity for growth and hitting goals and things they want to achieve just because they don't have time to build the skill set to get to the point where they need it.
You come right in.
People are strong, right? Yeah, people are strong, and the more you're using each of these stations and getting comfortable on your feet and grounding and rooting, you want to build strength with that. And this will build you up for all these other ones too.
Yes,
You know what I mean? It gives you, it amplifies everything.
right.
So it's a pretty,
What
it's
is-
an awesome
what-
system. It's very complete
ask you this.
in that regard.
What is the, if you're there and you can't get up, you just would hold on to here, lower yourself
You'd lower it
to
down and unhook yourself. Yeah,
okay.
yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that's why it's pretty safe, right?
Yeah, yeah,
you always
right,
have,
'cause
you
it's
have
not
that,
much of a drop
you have
anyway.
that finish, right? Like, yeah, I can.
Well,
yeah.
the hands here is what makes it safe.
Yeah, yeah,
No,
yeah.
Yeah.
So it's kind of all of the.
Oh, look at this. Here we go. See, this is Weck methodization.
That's it. That's it.
Look at that.
I like that right there. The backside focus feels real good.
Boom, backside.
Yeah, that backside lets you really
Backside.
clear and get extra depth. That's nice.
Driving.
So you know, you get all of the benefits that you would do from a conventional squat, but without the kind of risk factor really, and you're able to really max out on the intensity as well.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
yeah.
I love it.
No, I really welcome your feedback. You know, as I said, I think for us this is an exciting range. You know, the people that we've presented it to so far really seem to get it. I think you know, it makes sense. The timing's right. It's relatively kind of intuitive. But also, you know, as we've seen today, you can really kind of progress it. If required, you can progress it to quite an advanced level as well.
Yeah,
Cool, man.
for sure, man. Yeah.
Thanks, man.
Oh, we got.